Sketch. X minus 5 square over 4 minus y plus 1 square over 49 equals 1. I recognize this as the equation of a hyperbola. The thing that keys that knowledge is that there's a subtraction between the squared x quantity and the squared y quantity. Since the squared x quantity has the positive coefficient, I know that this will have a horizontal transverse axis. Okay, and what that means is the parabola is going to look roughly like that. Okay, it opens left and right. It's shifted with the center at 5, -1, equating the x quantity and the y quantities to 0. Now to find the vertices are on the transverse axis. So notice that A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 7. The value associated with the horizontal quantity is how much we would move to find the vertices. So then the vertices would be at 5 plus or minus 2, comma, -1. So that's 3, -1 and 7, -1. So let's get a rough sketch of this curve already. Okay, we have the vertex. Well, we know the center. The center is at 5, -1. The vertices are at 3, -1 and 7, -1. Now, what we'd like to do from here is to use the b value to help us build what's called the fundamental rectangle. So from the center, let's move up or down 7 units. So we have this assisting point here at, what is that? That's at 5, 6. And we have another assisting point at 5, -8. And we'll use those points to build what's called this fundamental rectangle. Now the fundamental rectangle helps us build the asymptotes of the curve, of the hyperbola. And so if we draw the asymptotes go through the corners of that fundamental rectangle. So there are the asymptotes. And now we can draw the curve. And so the curve, remember, has a horizontal transverse axis. And what it does is it's going to kind of hug the asymptotes, go through the vertices, bounce off down to the other one. Asymptote. Asymptote. Vertex. Asymptote. What are the equations of the asymptotes? Well, the slope, if we sort of think of how those corners, how to get to the corners, we would have to move up or down let's just say up 7 and right 2. So the slope is 7 over 2 or negative 7 over 2. But it doesn't go through the origin, it goes through a specific point. So we'll use a point-slope form. So the asymptotes are defined by positive or negative 7/2, and then it goes through the point, they go through the point 5, negative 1, so it would be x minus 5, closed quantity, minus 1. And there's the equations of the asymptotes. Let's find the foci. Well, to find the foci, we have to first identify that c value. So recall that for a hyperbola, the c square is defined as a square plus b square. And so in this case, that would be equal to 4 plus 49. And so c squared is 53, which implies that c is 53. The square root of 53. And let's see, the square root of 53 is a little bit more than 7. And so from the center, we would have to go a little bit more than 7 to the left or to the right. So then our foci are defined as 5 plus or minus the square root of 53, comma negative 1. And so we would find a focus, let's see, from our center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's a focus, and that's at 5 minus the square root of 53, comma negative 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's a focus, and that's at 5 plus the square root of 53, comma negative 1.